Hello and welcome to Introductions, WFMT's weekly feature of prominent young Chicago musicians. I'm Robbie Ellis, host and presenter. Today's episode is a little bit different. We are focusing on the music of just one country. In February 2022, Russia invaded the sovereign nation of Ukraine. And since then, as the war is carrying on, a couple of elements of Ukrainian society have come into focus, notably the music of Ukrainian composers and the local Ukrainian American community here in the Chicago area. Today, we have 4 such young performers from the Ukrainian American community of the Chicago area. And all 4 of them will be on the stage later on. But first, I'm joined by 18-year-old Myroslav Mykhailenko of Wooddale. Myroslav, welcome back to Introductions.
Hi, thank you for having me back and for making this episode possible.
Just for context, Myroslav did a solo recital in November 2019, and we're very glad that we can have you back for this. So today we are in Nichols Concert Hall, and that's a special venue for you. You've worked here plenty.
Oh yes, I've been blessed to be part of the Academy program of the Music Institute of Chicago during these 2 years. And this year was especially fruitful since we had so many opportunities to perform at Nichols Concert Hall. It also brings me great memories when I think about recording the Ukrainian national anthem with the Academy Orchestra. It was a truly heartfelt experience.
So later on we'll be joined by other young Ukrainian performers. Your brother Nazari, who is a baritone, young violinist Julia Perkhozhuk, and also Anna Knight, who escaped Ukraine not long after the invasion, and her story really is extraordinary. She's a pianist. For now, though, Myroslav, you're going to play solo. First, the music of Mykola Lysenko. He's a composer who's turning up multiple times on this program. So tell a little bit about his elegy for solo piano.
Sure. Mykola Lysenko, first of all, is perhaps my favorite composer, or at least one of my favorites. He's considered to be the founder of a national music tradition in Ukraine during the Ukrainian national revival at the end of the 19th century, so he is a truly prominent composer. Regarding the elegy, it is the last and perhaps most moving piece from Lysenko's album from the summer of 1902. I love this composition because it is so mournful, yet at the same time powerful in its character. So it is very special to me.
And before you get to the piano, I'll just ask for the radio audience, I'll mention that all 4 performers today are wearing, correct me if I'm wrong, vyshyvanki?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, so just explain what they are. By the way, there is video of this for the radio audience on the Introductions Facebook page. So what are the 4 of you wearing today?
Mm-hmm. In singular, it's only vyshyvanka, but yeah. you said it correctly.
I tried to pluralize it. It's doing my best.
Good
Ukrainian.
job. Very good. The vyshyvanka is a national Ukrainian attire. It basically shows our identity, and it comes with the different colors. Sometimes you have red, blue, green, or just others. Yet mine is just more classic. It's only white and black. So it basically shows our Ukrainian identity.
Well, thank you very much. Very glad to have you. Let's hear you now, Myroslav Mykhailenko playing the elegy of Mykola Lysenko on a return visit to Introductions. the elegy of Ukrainian composer Mykola Lysenko. And you heard Myroslav Mykhailenko on piano, 18 years old, originally from Kyiv and now living in Chicago's suburbs. We have young Ukrainian-American musicians on introductions today. Myroslav Mykhailenko stays at the piano, but he's about to be joined by a duo partner. Julia Perekhozhuk is 13. She hails from Westchester in Chicago's western suburbs. And she studies violin with Sang-Mi Lee here at the Music Institute of Chicago. She's had plenty of competition success, including an honorable mention at this year's DePaul Concerto Festival. She joins me at the microphone now. Julia Perekhozhuk, welcome to Introductions.
Hello, I am grateful to be here. I have never done a recording, and I think this is very cool, very good opportunity. And yeah, thank you for having me.
The first of many, we hope. So tell me about your very beginnings on violin. I understand you've been playing since the age of 4.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I first started, I originally wanted to play violin because I'd attended a kids' concert where everybody else was playing violin too. I came up to the teacher and I started tugging on her skirt, asking to play the violin. I really wanted to, and when I came home over to her place to learn, she had another kid who was my age, and we fought over that violin.
Oh, who won?
We both started crying.
Oh, no one won.
Nobody.
But did you
It
both
was a
end up playing
draw.
violin?
I obviously kept the lead, but nonetheless.
And you're also a member of Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestras, and you've played in a number of different ensembles within CYSO, right? Yeah?
Yeah, I started in preparatory strings, and I did that for 1 year, and it was pretty cool. It was fun. It was kind of scary. Then I went on to debut orchestra, which I played 1 year until COVID hit, and then it became kind of monotonous where we didn't play on Zoom. We just had little musical talks. Then I went into concert orchestra, which was kind of cool. I was concertmaster in the first season, and that was pretty cool. I got to tune the orchestra, which was really scary, but that's okay. That's a learning experience.
You just stand up there with confidence.
Yeah.
Glare at the oboist.
Yeah. And this year, I'm going into the Philharmonic Orchestra.
So the Philharmonic Orchestra is like the second to top, but
Yeah.
age 13, that's still pretty good. So tell us about the piece that you're going to play. What are you going to play?
I'm going to be playing Carpathian Rhapsody by Myroslav.
Thank you very much. Julia Perekhozhuk, joined by Myroslav Mykhailenko on piano, playing Ukrainian music on Introductions. That was the Carpathian Rhapsody, Karpatskia Rapsodia in Ukrainian. Karpatska, excuse me. The music of Myroslav Skorik was played by Julia Perekhozhuk on violin and Myroslav Mykhailenko on piano, 13 and 18 years old respectively. On Introductions today, we're featuring both composers from Ukraine and young musicians from the Chicago area's Ukrainian diaspora. Our next performer is one of the most recent arrivals to this community. Anna Knight, formerly known as Anna Yurchenko, is 18 years old. She grew up in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, which lies just a couple of dozen miles from the border with Russia. Anna arrived in the United States in May 2022, just a couple of months ago, making her US radio debut. Anna Knight, welcome to Introductions.
Thank you.
Thank you. So most of your music education was at the Vladimir Krainev Lyceum in Kharkiv. I understand it's a specialist music high school. What was going to school there like?
It was a great experience. I really liked to being able to study there. I had most important experience in my life, in my music career. Definitely, I liked teachers there, and my education there was going really well. And I think that during my education there, I grew up way more faster than any time in my life.
So I understand you and your family left Kharkiv on February the 24th, which was the official first day of the Russian invasion from three sides. And you made it to the United States. You rejoined your father, who was already here, the rest of your family. And you've settled in Highland Park. So were you able to keep up piano playing at all when you were going through Moldova and Hungary and Germany and wherever else?
Well, I do have some stuff that helped me to exercise my fingers, but I was always using like tables to be able to press, like pretending that I was pressing the keys, so I didn't lose my technique. I was really worried about that. So yeah.
And now that you're in the United States, I understand that there was a grand piano waiting for you at your new home. That's lovely. What are your plans like? How are you keeping up your piano playing? Are you taking lessons? Are you going to go to school? What's happening?
I'm going to join Music Academy of Chicago.
Here at Nichols Concert Hall?
Yes.
Very good.
But right now I'm mostly practicing alone. But I do have help from Mr. Rosario, who been helping me with when I just settled here, so I could know what should I do and what is my path, because all my plans were ruined in one day, and I was really frustrated about that, and I didn't know anything about the United States and music here, so Myroslav and Mr. Rosario helped me a lot when I just got here.
So Mr. Osorio, by the way, that's Jorge Federico Osorio. We play his recordings a lot on WFMT. He is featured as a recitalist too. Thank you so much for sharing your story today. I'm so glad to have you on this program. And would you please tell us the two pieces that you're going to be playing?
Of course. I'll be playing Toccata by Bortkiewicz and Chopin Ballade No. 3.
Thank you. One Ukrainian piece, one Polish piece. Anna Knight, 18 years old, of Highland Park. Originally from Kharkiv, Ukraine, here she is playing the music of Isaac Berkovich and Frédéric Chopin. 18-year-old pianist Anna Knight, formerly known as Anna Yurchenko. She grew up in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv and arrived in the United States 3 months ago. First, she played the toccata of Isaac Berkovich and then the Ballade in A-flat by Frédéric Chopin. I'm Robbie Ellis, and today on Introductions, I'm featuring Ukrainian composers and young Ukrainian-American musicians. Earlier in the program, we heard from 18-year-old pianist Myroslav Mykhailenko, who played some solo rep. He's back at the piano now to support someone who looks quite a lot like him, his older brother, Nazari Mykhailenko. Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome, and yes, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with my brother and perform.
Well, strictly speaking, you should not be here because you're a bit old for the program. 21, you're not pre-college, you're in college. What are you up to?
Right. So I'm studying at Chicago College of Performing Arts at Roosevelt University in downtown. I study music education with choral emphasis and classical voice performance with Mark Creighton, who's my teacher. It's actually a dual major that I'm going to finish in 5 years.
And career-wise, I mean, you're taking music education, so teaching's going to figure into it. Do you have any desires for your career down the line?
Great question. Ultimately, I want to be a choral conductor. And that's my goal, but at the same time, I also love to sing, and I would be very glad to sing in professional choirs in the future. Now, music education will be very helpful, and I think as start of my choral career, it will be very neat, especially in the school setting.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to hear you singing, solo this time, a couple of Ukrainian art songs, both of them in the Ukrainian language. So tell us what you're going to sing.
Right. So I do have to add the Ukrainian language is one of the most beautiful languages, and I'm really happy to sing in Ukrainian so everybody hears. Now, the first song I'm going to sing is Сонце заходить, the sun is setting. It is a romantic song written by Yakov Stepovy, and it's a really nice song with contemplation on memories of home in Ukraine while far away. There's also a memory of a loved one, but unfortunately there's a bitter realization of this loved one who might have forgotten this person who is singing. Now the second song is Реве та стогне Дніпр широкий, which means the Dnieper River rages, a mighty Dnieper that flows through the whole Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a giant river, flows through your hometown of Kyiv, yes?
Yeah, and I saw it quite often when traveling to school. And the song itself is set to the poem of a very famous poet, Taras Shevchenko, which every Ukrainian knows probably. And this poem is beginning in a very unrestful state, and it's conveyed in music and in the language, which says that the Dnieper River rages in this very...
It's a mighty force.
Yeah, mighty force.
Yeah, the mighty force of the Dnieper River. Well, thank you so much, Nazari Mykhailenko, joined by his brother Myroslav Mykhailenko on piano, 2 Ukrainian art songs on Introductions.
Сонце заходить, гори чорніють, пташечка тихне, поле німіє, радіють люди, що відпочинуть. А я дивлюся і серцем лину в темний садочок на Україну. чули. Про мою доленьку, що ви не чули. Ревета стогне Дніп широкий, сердитий вітер завива. Подолу верби невисокі, хорами хвилі підійма. І блідний місяць на ту пору із хмари де виглядав, неначе човен в синім морі, то виринав, то потопав. Ще треті півні не співали, ніхто ніде не гомонів. Сичі вою перекликались, та ясен раз у раз скрипів.
Two songs from Ukraine, both with texts by the 19th century poet Taras Shevchenko. First you heard Zonce Zachodit, The Sun is Setting, but composed by Yakov Stepovy. And that was followed by Reveta Stochne Dnieper Shiroki, The Mighty Dnipro River Roars, with music by Mykola Lysenko. They were sung by baritone Nazary Mykhailenko with his brother Myroslav Mykhailenko on piano, and Myroslav joins me at the microphone once more. You are in that in-between stage between high school and college. What are you getting up to in the fall?
Well, I'm quite excited about the fall since I'm going to start my higher education at the Peabody Conservatory of Music. I will be majoring in piano performance, and my teacher will be Benjamin Pasternak.
Congratulations. So why
Thank
did you
you.
choose Peabody and Benjamin Pasternak?
I chose Peabody because it is certainly one of the best music schools in the US. So when I was applying to different schools, it was certainly on the top of my list. In addition, Professor Pasternak is a great teacher, and he was recommended to me by many people. So I'm really looking forward to this new chapter of my life.
Congratulations. Well, good luck with the move to Baltimore.
Thank you so much.
You've got another solo piece for us now. It is simply called To You, or Do Tebe in Ukrainian. Vitaly Filipenko, the composer. What can you say about this piece?
Frankly, I think that this piece is one of the most beautiful pieces I have ever played yet. It is called To You, not by mistake, since Filipenko dedicated it to his wife. When I play it and think about the context of the Ukrainian war right now, it breaks my heart to think about all the Ukrainian soldiers that have to leave their wives and children. So I'm going to perform it with great sadness.
Thank you very much. Myroslav Mykhailenko, 18 years old, with the music of Vitaly Filipenko on Introductions. Beautiful piece, the title simply To You, Do Tebe in the original Ukrainian. It was composed by Vitaly Filipenko and played by Myroslav Mykhailenko of Wooddale, Illinois. Myroslav joins me once more at the microphone. You're going to introduce the last item very shortly, but first, with my producer's hat on, thank you for taking charge of this program so much, for identifying the performers and the repertoire. It's really been a joy planning this program with you.
Likewise, it's been my tremendous pleasure to be part of this fantastic program, and I would like to thank you, as well as Introductions, once again for making it possible.
Glad you could come back to Introductions, absolutely. So we're going to involve all four musicians in this last item. So yourself and Anna Knight on piano, your brother Nazari singing, and Julia Perekhozhuk, on violin. It's another composition by Mykola Lysenko, and I mean, very much a prominent composer in Ukraine. You attended a school named for him, right?
That's right. I have attended the Kyiv Specialized Music School named after him, and trust me, I can hardly imagine myself being here today if I have not had enrolled in the school.
So this next piece, the last piece we'll hear, Prayer for Ukraine. The poem was composed by Alexander Koniski in 1885, a time when the Russian Empire was suppressing the Ukrainian language, and then set to music by Mykola Lysenko, a composer who keeps turning up in this recital. And it's now the official spiritual anthem of Ukraine. I'm wondering if you can expand on the significance of Prayer for Ukraine, both historically and today.
Sure. Historically speaking, the prayer for Ukraine, which can also be called Боже Великий Єдиний, has gained its national significance during the Ukrainian War of Independence between 1917 and 1920. Interestingly enough, the anthem was first intended for a children's choir, yet it soon exceeded all expectations and became quite widespread.
Yeah, quite widespread to the point that Saturday Night Live, the sketch comedy show on NBC, the week following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, they had a New York Ukrainian choir put it on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in the present moment, I mean, it's obviously taking on a big significance.
So the reason why it's so significant at the present moment as well is, I believe, due to its words. It says, bless her, meaning Ukraine, with freedom and light. And then later it says, bless us with freedom. So I do believe that it is so important to fight for our freedom, and that's what Ukraine shows us at this point.
Thank you, Myroslav Mykhailenko. It's been a joy working with you on this program. He'll be on the piano alongside Anna Knight, Julia Perekhozhuk on violin, and Miroslav's brother Nazari Mykhailenko on baritone. This is the Prayer for Ukraine by Mykola Lysenko, also known as Bože Veliki Jedini, Thou One Great God. Bože veliki jedini, Thou one great God, the spiritual anthem of Ukraine taking on additional resonance in these times, composed by Mykhailenko. The performers were Nazari Mykhailenko, baritone, 21 years old, Julia Perechozhuk on violin, 13, and two 18-year-olds on piano, Myroslav Mykhailenko and Anna Knight. That's it for this episode of Introductions, a special featuring the music of Ukrainian composers and young Ukrainian American musicians. Thank you to Kevin Harrison, Sue Palutnik, and Jim Setterpen of the Music Institute of Chicago for letting us record here in Nichols Concert Hall today. The audio engineer was Mary Mazurik. The video producers were Greg Broderick and Fatima Daba. And also thank you once again to Myroslav Mykhailenko for structuring this program, helping to plan the repertoire and the performers, and of course playing piano for the lion's share of the music. You can find a complete playlist of today's episode on the web. Go to wfmt.com/introductions, and we've also got video of today's concert on our Facebook page, facebook.com/introductionswfmt. My name is Robbie Ellis, producer and presenter of Introductions. Catch you next time every Saturday at 11 a.m. for more great young local musicians on Classical WFMT.